Hey Kevin, how's it going? Saw your request for some feedback, so I thought I'd drop by your PR and have a look. It's looking great, man. I really like the line of dialogue. I like the character. I also like the little nuances you've put in as well, in how, he adjusts his glasses, the little handshake he does at the end. All of that stuff is really, really, really characterful and really sets him apart, from just a generic character. So, things that kind of like jump out at me in your work so far are things like just at the beginning, I'm not sure if he's putting the cup down or if he's, rising his hand up. I think I need to see the previous frames of what's going on there. But double check your line of action there, because he kind of like does a bit of a grab with his fingers on frame 82, and then the hand opens up a little bit. So I'm not entirely sure, because I haven't seen the previous shot, if he's putting something down, why his hand is doing this as it goes away, if that makes sense, because he's kind of like doing that. So just have a look, that if he's putting this down, you can either sprawl the hands out a little bit, but again, the hands would just split up a little bit as they come up as well. And look at the line of action as well. Make sure that the fingers, when they're leaving the objects, follow the path of action as well, so that it's not like you've got the hand like this and the arms are moving in this direction, which feels very mechanical. Try to get a little bit of a flow in there in the first couple of frames. The other thing that happens as well is that in the pose that you've got in frame 91, it's a great moment to break things up, because currently when he's doing this, his hands are moving straight in a straight line like this. It feels really, really, really IK like this. Both hands are like that there, and he's also covering his face up as well. Try to get the silhouette and the line of action a little bit clearer. And as I said before, it's a great moment where you can push things out with the elbow first, have the hand drag, and then as the hand rotates over and it spreads out, it's a great moment to just, make everything move, at different rates, and that's nice little pieces of overlap. So instead of going like this, it's easier to go like that, where the gesture's still high and it's like that, and get a little bit of an arc in the hands over here. It's a little, let me
brilliant scientist.
A brilliant scientist. And again, that spacing is going to be favoring this part over here. It's going to come out and be quickly here. So by the time it's scientist, hands are pretty much already gone by very much the first parts of the line, so you really want a fast out of that pose. So very much that's one of the things that you do there. So have a look at your spacing and your arcs, make those round, break up elbows, wrists, and shoulders so that everything moves nicely, and then just have a look at your time and explode out of that word there on scientist. And that, in just a couple of beats and having a bit of a settle at the end is really, really, really going to make that pose just that much sweeter. And then when he comes down...
Stop at nothing to remake...
When he goes at stop at nothing, he kind of like has his hands, both of them, very much in front of the body. I think you can push this silhouette either a little bit by pushing him to a side like that, or spreading this arm out so that it's not so, straight coming towards camera like that. But I think that, it's a chance where you can really, just push the pose into the side a little bit, so it's, we can really appreciate the bend of the body, bend of the head to one side. He can still be looking at camera, and his fists are just kind of like in front of him like that. It will stop at nothing. And then when he kind of like does this little gesture to get, his fingers to reposition his glasses, he's doing something that's a little bit unnatural right now, because what he's doing is that you can really see a very clear boink like that. So his fingers stretching, and it touches and pushes all at the same time. So he's doing this to adjust his glasses, when most of the time it's along the lines, the finger's already straight and you'll just go bonk like that. So there's this little kind of like breakup that you just need to do on having the finger out and touch and push up like that. Just needs a little more frame, so open that finger up a little bit sooner and do it as two gestures really. Open, adjust glasses, hand comes down. and that way, you know, you just break that up a little bit, because it's kind of like it's going too quickly to the point where he's going to be adjusting his glasses. And then kind of like he does also this big kind of like overlap action, you know, it's kind of like boom, 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 like that. Just push up, push down, really quick, you know, it's a subconscious movement as well, you know, it's like scratching your nose. You just go ahead and you do it, you know, it's so familiar on doing these type of gestures, you know, where things are, that they're very direct, you know, they don't take any time at all you need. So you don't need, you know, big overlap motion in there for the glasses at all. Round frame, bonk. 196 all the way to 200. You've just got this little bit of overlap on the finger. Take that out. Then the other thing is when he goes into like Dr. Frankenstein, have a look here at what your hands are doing, because in frame 218 they're very mushy. Your fingers are like all over the place like this. They're one on top of the other. Keep those silhouettes clear, you know, so if he's building expectations, you know, rotate the hands until you can see them, kind of like this. Dr. Frankenstein, you know, and you see how I'm kind of like just spreading my fingers outwards like that? Keep them away from the face as well, because we want to concentrate everything in this area of the shot. So if you have everything composed just a little bit differently, so he's a bit more intense, and then his hands kind of like play out to about the level of where his eyes are, that's going to make that shot just a little bit better. So by the time you get to frame 228, you know, the hands have to be a little bit further apart from the body, and you know, they're just a little bit separate, and just always pushing that silhouette just a little bit more, and that'll look very sweet. I like the way that he comes down, you know, into the final pose. I might even add, you know, 4 or 5 frames so you can just get that settled, so that when he puts his hands down on frame 240, you've still got about 10 frames for that to register, because kind of like you're finishing with the end of the movement and the last frame is still moving. Put him into a moving hold, so have him just settle down for 10 frames, and then you cut, and there will be much stronger ending, and it won't really add that much to your workload. Okay? But it's looking great, man. You know, I really like the shot, and I love, you know, the way that it's coming along. You know, so polish away, dude. It's looking great. Okay. So anyway, have a great weekend, and we'll be looking forward to see some more. Take care, man. Bye.